Have you ever found yourself lost in thoughts of the good old days, those moments when you drift away reminiscing about times that seemed simpler, more joyful, and filled with endless possibilities? It's a common experience, one that connects us all across different ages and cultures. Do those memories seem brighter, happier, even magical compared to today? You're not alone. Many of us find that our past experiences, especially the good ones, take on a golden hue in our minds. We remember the laughter, the warmth of the sun, the carefree days spent with loved ones. Most of us have felt the pull of nostalgia, that bittersweet longing for a time gone by. It's a powerful emotion that can bring both joy and a touch of sadness. We flip through old photo albums, share stories around a campfire, and find comfort in the familiar faces and places of our past. It's a universal human experience. No matter where we come from or how old we are, we all have memories that we hold dear. These memories shape who we are and how we see the world. They connect us to our roots and to each other. We build shrines to the past in our minds. We recall childhood summers, first loves, or carefree moments with friends. These memories are like treasures that we keep safe, revisiting them whenever we need a reminder of the good times or carefree moments with friends. The edges soften, the colors become more vibrant. The past seems like a perfect painting, untouched by the flaws and struggles of the present. The edges soften, the colors become more vibrant. The present, with its everyday struggles and uncertainties, can pale in comparison. But why? Why does the past often seem so much better than the present? The present, with its everyday struggles and uncertainties, can pale in comparison. But why? Is the past truly better, or are we tricking ourselves? Is it possible that our minds are playing a clever trick on us, making the past seem more appealing than it really was? Is the past truly better, or are we tricking ourselves? The answer, it turns out, lies in the fascinating, flawed way our brains create and store memories. Our brains are not perfect recorders of events. Instead, they are more like artists, constantly editing and reinterpreting our experiences. The answer, it turns out, lies in the fascinating, flawed way our brains create and store memories. Our brains are not simply passive recorders of events. They are active participants in the creation of our personal histories. We're not simply passive recorders of events. We are artists, constantly editing and reinterpreting our own life stories. We highlight the good moments, downplay the bad, and sometimes even fill in the gaps with a bit of creative license. We are artists, constantly editing and reinterpreting our own life stories. This process of memory making is what gives the past its allure, making it seem more beautiful and perfect than it ever was. And perhaps that's the magic of nostalgia. Our brains are wired for efficiency, not always for accuracy. They love shortcuts. These mental shortcuts help us navigate the complexities of life without getting bogged down by every detail. It's a survival mechanism that has evolved over millennia. One of those shortcuts is called positivity bias. This bias makes us focus on the good times, often at the expense of the bad. It's like having a mental filter that highlights the sunshine and downplays the rain. Simply put, we tend to remember positive experiences more easily and vividly than negative ones. This isn't just a quirk, it's a fundamental aspect of how our memory works. Positive memories are like bright stars in the night sky, standing out against the darker backdrop of our less pleasant experiences. Think about it. Which memories come to mind more readily? The awkward first date or the magical first kiss? The moments of joy and connection often overshadow the times of discomfort and embarrassment. The humiliating blunder or the triumphant win. Our minds are like skilled editors, cutting out the bloopers and focusing on the highlights. Our brains tend to file away the good stuff in our mental highlight reel, while the less pleasant memories fade. This isn't just about personal experiences. It extends to how we view our collective past as well. This selective memory isn't intentional or malicious. It's a natural part of how we process and store information. By focusing on the positive, we create a sense of continuity and purpose in our lives. It's just our brains trying to make sense of the past and find meaning. This process helps us build a coherent narrative of our lives, one that emphasizes growth, happiness, and achievement. But this natural editing process can create a distorted view of what was. We might end up idealizing the past, forgetting that it had its own set of challenges and struggles. We end up comparing the airbrushed version of yesterday to the messy, unfiltered reality of today. This can make the present seem less satisfying, even though it might be just as rich and fulfilling as the past. The renowned psychologist Carl Jung believed that our fascination with the past often masks deeper struggles. He saw nostalgia as a form of escapism, a retreat from the challenges of the present. When we feel overwhelmed, anxious, or uncertain, the past can feel like a safe haven. It's familiar, predictable, and comforting. We may cling to memories of a simpler time, a carefree childhood, or a passionate romance, longing for a return to that perceived happiness. Jung argued that this longing can keep us stuck. By idealizing what was, we avoid confronting what is. We may miss opportunities for growth and new experiences in the present because we're too busy chasing the ghosts of yesterday. Ernest Becker, a cultural anthropologist, offered another perspective on our relationship with the past. He believed that our tendency to romanticize bygone days stems from a deep-seated fear of mortality. The past, in a way, represents permanence. It's fixed, unchanging, and safely out of reach of time's relentless flow. The present, on the other hand, is fluid, unpredictable, and finite. It reminds us that we are constantly aging, changing, and moving closer to the inevitable end. Becker argued that by clinging to an idealized past, we try to deny the passage of time and, by extension, our own mortality. This denial, while understandable, can prevent us from fully embracing the preciousness and potential of the present moment. Section 5. The false past, a trap of our own making. As we've seen, our memories are not always reliable narrators. They are more like storytellers weaving tales that are part truth and part fiction. We edit, embellish, and sometimes completely fabricate the past to fit our current narratives. This is not always a conscious act. Often it happens subtly, over time. This tendency can lead to what Jung called the false past, a romanticized version of events that holds more sway over our emotions than reality ever did. We create a mental scrapbook filled with moments that are more idealized than they ever were. We may convince ourselves that we were happier, more carefree, or more successful in the past. This selective memory can be comforting, but it can also be misleading. We may even idealize past relationships or friendships, remembering only the good times and conveniently forgetting the challenges. This can create a skewed perception of our past, making it seem like a golden era that we can never return to. This false past can become a yardstick by which we measure our present lives, inevitably leading to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction. We may find ourselves constantly comparing our current reality to this idealized version of the past and feeling like we fall short. We chase after a mirage, longing for something that never truly existed. This can prevent us from fully appreciating the present and from building a future that is grounded in reality. Section 6. James. Our stories, our reality. The philosopher and psychologist William James offered a more empowering perspective on memory. He believed that our interpretation of the past shapes our present reality. The stories we tell ourselves about who we were directly influence who we believe we are now. If we cling to narratives of past failures, regrets, or missed opportunities, we risk perpetuating those patterns in the present. However, if we can reframe our past experiences with compassion and understanding, we can liberate ourselves from those limiting stories. James's insights remind us that we have the power to choose how we relate to our past. We can allow it to define us, or we can use it as a source of wisdom and growth. Section 7. Unpacking the baggage of nostalgia. So how do we break free from the grip of nostalgia and embrace the present moment more fully? It starts with awareness. Recognize when you're romanticizing the past or comparing it favorably to the present. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding feeling or dealing with in the present moment? What needs are going unmet in my life right now? Am I clinging to a past version of myself that no longer serves me? Once you've identified the underlying emotions or needs driving your nostalgia, you can begin to address them directly in the present. This might involve seeking support from loved ones, exploring new hobbies or interests, or practicing self-care. Section 8. The gift of now. The present moment, despite its challenges, is a gift. It's the only place where life is actually happening. By letting go of our attachment to the past, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We can cultivate gratitude for the simple joys of being alive, for the people in our lives, and for the experiences that shape us. We can embrace the unknown with curiosity and a sense of adventure. The present moment is where we heal, grow, and create new memories that will one day become part of our past. It's the fertile ground from which our future blossoms. Section 9. Moving forward, embracing today. Letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting it. Our memories, both joyful and painful, are part of what makes us who we are, but we don't have to be defined by them. We can choose to learn from them, grow from them, and move forward with courage and an open heart. The past may feel alluring, but the present is where we truly come alive. Let's embrace it fully, imperfections and all. The best is yet to come.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.